You're home alone. Nothing's wrong. You're deep in a book, your phone, whatever it is. Then it hits you. Someone's watching you. Your eyes snap to the doorway, the window, the hallway. Empty? All of it. But the feeling doesn't leave. Nothing changed. So why did you? Most people write this off. Too many horror movies. An overactive imagination. Except that explanation has a problem. This happens to hardcore skeptics, people who laugh at ghost stories. It happens at noon, in a locked house, with every light blazing. It even happens to neuroscientists who know exactly what's causing it. So superstition doesn't explain it. Something else pulled the trigger. Something that didn't wait for your permission. And to understand what it is, you have to go back much further than your living room. Before houses, before doors, before locks were even an idea. You're standing at the edge of a clearing, waist-high grass. A tree line, maybe 40 meters ahead. Somewhere in that shadow, maybe something is looking at you. No sound, no movement, no proof of any kind. And your brain has half a second to answer one question. Is something there? Or isn't it? Guess wrong one way. You flinch at nothing. A spike of adrenaline, a little embarrassment, and you move on. Guess wrong the other way. You don't move on at all. Those two mistakes are not the same size. One costs you a heartbeat. The other costs you everything. And here's the part that changes how you see yourself. The humans who survived weren't the ones who got it right more often. They were the ones who consistently made the safer mistake. They flinched 1,000 times at nothing. And because of that, they were still there on the one morning something actually was in the grass. That tendency got passed down for tens of thousands of years, which means right now, inside your skull, there's an alarm that was never designed to be accurate. It was designed to be relentless. Psychologists call it agency detection. Your brain's tendency to sense another presence before it has enough evidence. And the threshold for it to fire is almost insultingly low. 2 faint dots of light in the dark. A shadow with the vague outline of eyes. A gap in a doorway that's just a shade too dark to see clearly. Your brain doesn't pause to verify any of it. It reacts to the pattern first and interrogates the evidence later, usually after your heart rate has already peaked. But here's the part almost no one talks about. You don't even need something that looks like eyes. Sometimes the trigger isn't what you see, it's what you stopped hearing. A room goes quiet, but it's the wrong kind of quiet, not peaceful, heavy, off in a way you can't describe but immediately feel. Your brain has spent your entire life learning what normal empty sounds like. Your fridge, your hallway, your house at 2 a.m. The moment reality drifts off that map, even slightly, an ancient part of your brain doesn't file a report. It pulls an alarm, not because it found a threat, because it found a mismatch. And to a system this old, a mismatch and a threat are close enough to treat as the same thing. Because sometimes they are, which is exactly why the feeling stays. Even after you've checked every room and found nothing. Checking satisfies the rational part of your brain, the part that trusts your own eyes. But that's not the part that started this. The older system, the one that's been running this alarm since before your species had a word for fear, doesn't accept "I looked and nothing was there" as a final answer. It was never built to trust a single glance. Not when the cost of being wrong once, just once, is irreversible. So the feeling lingers. Not because something is wrong with you, because something is working exactly as it was built to. So the next time it hits you, in a room you already know is empty, don't call it irrational, and don't call it a ghost. Call it the only kind of brain that made it to today. Because the people who didn't feel it, who weren't wired to check the doorway, the window, and the tree line, were probably right more often. But they didn't become your ancestors. You did. Because somewhere, a very long time ago, one of your ancestors flinched first and survived. That alarm is still inside you. It never stopped working.